Donald Trump wants to make nuclear weapons easier to use. According to the Huffington Post website, which has published a leaked draft of his administration's Nuclear Posture Review, the document pushes for additional flexible and low-yield nuclear weapons in the U.S. arsenal.
It's terribly dangerous. It's dangerous beyond words because it lowers even more the threshold by which nuclear weapons would be used. The smaller you try to make them, and there are already enough smaller ones in the arsenals, the more likely that they will be used because there's less of a psychological impediment to starting a nuclear war. And mind you, if you use small ones, you may get big ones back on your own heads or your allied heads.
Trump had already showed interest in nukes. In December 2016, he tweeted that the U.S. must greatly strengthen and expand its nuclear capability until such time as the world comes to its senses regarding nukes. Despite Trump's lack of knowledge about U.S. nuclear capabilities, the draft shows that the Pentagon is going to translate his impulses into policy. For decades, both Republican and Democratic presidential administrations have seemingly worked to reduce U.S. and global nuclear weapons stockpiles. Trump's views, however, represent a reversal of efforts at denuclearization.
It signifies very clearly that we don't give a damn about nuclear abolition. We don't give a damn about non-proliferation treaty. We do not give a damn about the legal verdict of the court 1996 that nuclear weapons are at odds with or incompatible with international law.
In fact, as some experts argue, the biggest problem is the logic behind giving the U.S. arsenal more nuclear weapons. As Alexandra Bell, a former senior advisor at the State Department, puts it, we have 4,000 nuclear weapons in our active stockpile, which is more than enough to destroy the world many times over. I don't think you can make the case that this president needs any more capabilities. While nuclear weapons are conventionally supposed to act as a deterrent, the leaked draft shows that the U.S. might use them against non-nuclear technologies.
It signifies that it may start a nuclear war against somebody who does not have nuclear weapons, which is a new thing. The argument was always nuclear weapons were a matter between those who have it, but not with somebody who don't have it. But if you make small yield weapons, and small yield, let me tell you in this, which is also pointed out in the excellent article by Huffington Post, small yield is something at least the size of Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs. It's not small things, but they are small today compared with the big ones. It signifies an exceptionalism, meaning we want to be able to do what we tell everybody else not to do.
The draft NPR outlines the Trump administration's aims to not only expand nuclear weapons capabilities, but also make the devices eminently easier for military forces to use. This in turn could spur nuclear proliferation and increase the risk of atomic warfare. According to Kingston Ree from the Arms Control Association, the draft document expands the scenarios under which the United States might use nuclear weapons and therefore increases the risk of nuclear weapons use.
In a world in which everybody's talking about, at some point, abolishing nuclear weapons, this country is going on like the rest of the world does not exist and does not hear and does not see. But there is a risk, of course, that I am wrong, and that somebody, be it Russia or China or whatever, say, oh, is that the way you're going? Then we will have to, according to a realpolitik reasoning, to do the same. And I can just say, God forbid, if they are good Gandhians, if they are thinking strategically, they do not. Nobody should copy what the United States does, because if you do the same thing, you become as stupid, dangerous, and immoral as the United States in this field.
The recent leaked draft imagines a more dangerous world that can plunge into a new arms race if other countries decide to follow suit.